Ingesting Architectures is a film that was made during the COVID pandemic, when we were very much thinking about the connections between all of us and how we are connected by breath. In Johannesburg in particular, we have an awareness as architects that the structures around us have been shaped by apartheid forces. And I have a body of research that thinks about how apartheid shaped architecture and infrastructure, both on the micro level of how people were kept apart on a city planning level, but how that design filtered down even to the microscopic level of how people ingest radioactive dust. And in that, townships for Black people were placed next to mine waste dumps in the direction that the wind blew, so that townships would be covered in dust. And Ingesting Architectures thinks about the violence of breathing in Johannesburg. And at that time, in 2020, we also drew parallels with the violence of breathing in Palestine, where people are ingesting and breathing in their own homes, breathing in each other, their own relatives. And it really is a reflection on the violence of being removed from the land in such a violent way, but then also being forced to absorb and ingest parts of the land with all of the colonial forces and all of the toxicity attached to that. And that becomes a part of our DNA and a part of our makeup. During apartheid, every single element around us was really employed to tell us something about our position in the world, the dignities that we deserve and did not deserve by apartheid standards. And it kept people so forcefully apart in every single way, in the ways that we were treated differently, but also that we never got to see each other. There were no forms of togetherness between different ethnicities and people of different backgrounds. And I think if we can understand that architecture and planning can be such a force and such an agent of perpetuating an ideology that is about keeping us separate and about treating us in the most inhumane of ways, then we have to also understand that by its opposite, architecture has an immense power to be able to bring us together, and that is our natural way of being. If it takes so much force to keep us apart. And really, Ingesting Architectures also thinks from this perspective that during COVID we saw how connected we all were as an organism just by breathing, that we connected with each other thousands and thousands of miles away from breath, and how that moved from person to person. If we can understand that, how powerful these forces are, then we have to understand architecture as a force also for bringing people together. I think there are many different paradigms of architecture waiting to happen in thinking from these perspectives of cultural knowledge. And that, coupled with the technologies that we have at our disposal, have the opportunity to evolve architecture into a completely different paradigm that is not only thinking about solutions to the challenges that we have, but posing entirely different paradigms for what architecture can be and what our relations with each other, situating ourselves within the natural world. There are many African languages, there are many Asian languages where nature is not something that is kept apart from us, where there is no concept of environment as the outside or the outer, but we are very much a part of that